Think of your days and think of what's not that deep. What's your not that deep of the day? My not that deep of the day today, modifying your workouts is not that deep. I think that when we're in group fitness classes, people like feel so much pressure to like grab the heaviest weight or do the most amount of work or sweat the least. Like, I don't get it, but it's not that deep to be like, I'm not feeling this 40-pound squat today. Let me either drop the weight or let me go less. Like, nobody cares. And if also somebody is watching you and is like, that's weird that they're modifying, that's so insane that they're so obsessed with you. Wait, it's not that deep. Woo! Okay. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to Not That Deep. Dana, is that a not that deep colored cardigan that you're wearing? It is. My mom got me this for my birthday. And here's the thing about birthday gifts with my mom. We'll go shopping and then she'll say, "Do you like anything?" And then I'll say, "I like that." And then she'll say, "Great. Seem surprised when I give it to you." I think that that's a really good way to get people birthday gifts because then you're actually getting them what they want. Instead of I have so many memories of, like, getting gifts as a child, and I just think, "Hey, I'm never gonna wear that." And it's really important to give people gifts that they're actually going to use. With that, my friend Carly had actually mentioned that gifts don't need to be this extravagant gesture. You don't need to get something for someone that's expensive. I really like a thoughtful gift. I love a thoughtful gift. Something thoughtful that you will use or that you will cherish, or maybe you've been saying you need something and like your friend was listening to you. And I think that's a really powerful way to show your admiration for someone is, for example, one of my friends, she'll get me a couple years ago when we first moved to the city, I had made a smoothie and I put it in a cup, a solo cup, the morning that I was commuting. So I had a smoothie in a solo cup. The solo cup did not have a cap. I just had a solo cup and I went on the subway and I was just holding the solo cup. Smoothie exposed, germs galore, and I didn't really see anything wrong with it. That upcoming birthday, my friend then got me a Yeti, and she said, "I feel like you could use this because you've been putting your smoothies in solo cups." And I thought, "That's so thoughtful, thank you so much." And I still use it. It's, like, very thoughtful. Similarly, but still a little bit different, my 2 friends this year got me. I think I've talked about my obsession with cow print on the pod before. I have cow pants. I recently rented a cow skirt from Nuuly. I think that animal print is so cute. And when people think of animal print clothing, it's usually cheetah. And I have no disrespect for the cheetah, for the jaguar, for the leopard. But you know who's looking really good and doesn't really get as much admiration? The cow. The cow print is really unique because calling someone a cow is not a compliment, but looking like a cow is. And I think that, cheetahs are sexy. Like jaguars are like, they're these like sexy beings. Therefore, when people wear their print, they embody that a little bit. If I went out in cheetah print, my friends would be like, ooh, like let's get frisky, for example. When you go out in cow print, no one is like, "You're a sex pistol." But I think as time goes on, I'm trying to remove the stigma from cow print of, like, cows have fun too, you know? Like, I'm big and blocky, but I'm having a good time. And also the thing with cow print, the browns. The browns are so here to stay this season, and to me, like, leopard, cheetah, jaguar, those are black and I don't know, yellow, light, light, light. I don't know. They're pretty. They're so pretty. but a brown is so good. But also, realistically, if you wore any color, you could be associated with an animal. Like, this is giving chocolate lab, right? But no, this sweater is giving not that deep. And yeah, I'm freaking obsessed with it. I love the colors of Not That Deep because I wear and embody the colors of Not That Deep. I just got my nails Not That Deep blue. Did not patent that. Trademarked the name, not the nail color. But I don't know, it's fun to wear something that you feel good in, and also now I can look back on this and think, "My mom got me that for me." That's such a nice gift. Where I was going with the cow print though was my 2 friends got me a cow print bag from it's from Anthro, but it's like a Dolce Vita collection, and I opened it and I was like, "This is such a thoughtful gift," because you know how hard I ride for cow print, and now I have a purse. So now I probably won't wear the cow print purse with the cow print pants because 'cause I'm not obsessed with cows, I just like cow print. But next time you see me out, I'll probably be in the cow print bag, and what I'm asking of you is don't act shocked. Don't say, "Where did you get that from?" I got it because my friends are thoughtful as heck. And that's where the power of the card really comes into. I love a thoughtful card. I save a lot of cards that they have so much meaning to me, but I think that when someone takes their time to handwrite a card, it's very special to me. And I'm thinking back, like I have so many cards from my grandma who passed away. I have cards from so many people that are so special because of the time of my life that they wrote them in. I think of my grandma also, you can kind of see her handwriting declining over the years. You can see that actually throughout the years, she started to write more in the cards. At first, it was just when I was little, it would be the Hallmark card of "You're one in a million" or like something like that. And then it would just say "Love Grandma and Grandpa." In the last couple of years, when it was just my grandma, she would write out cards, letters for me for my birthday. And it wasn't the easiest to always translate because the handwriting's just a little difficult, but I think that to have an expression of her thoughts put onto paper for me is timeless, and actually, when she passed away, I put her card, the last card that she wrote to me, in a frame. And it it was so meaningful to me because I remember thinking when I got it, she's never written this much to me before. And I didn't know that was gonna be the last card that she ever wrote to me, but I think that that's so special. And I've always written cards, like, we're a card family. You're either a card family or you're not a card family. We always grew up writing cards. I would always write I always do an acrostic poem. So and poem is a really big word for what I do. But I'll do let's say I'm writing a card for, my mom. I'll do, like, MOMMY, mommy. So embarrassing. Do you guys call your parents mommy or daddy or mom or dad? I don't know why, like, sometimes if I'm texting my mom and it's under mommy, I'm like, "Bitch, grow up." But then I'm like, I call my mom mom. I'm not like, "Mommy," but in my phone, she's mommy. I don't know why. My dad is Abba in my phone, which is Hebrew for dad. We don't speak Hebrew in my family, and I've never called my dad Abba before, yet he's in my phone as Abba. I don't know why, but how you save your parents' phone numbers is funny. I have friends who save their parents' phone numbers with just their name, and I'm like, telling. My mom would not be happy if I saved her number as Jill, so which is why I respect her and call it mommy. Um, but when I would do her card, I would do like mommy, MOMMY, and M would be like most likely to do yoga. It's pretty standard things. Obviously, it's super funny when you're reading these thoughtful messages that I'm writing and almost forcing to kind of get the letters to match up. But it always creates a ruse. And then they open the card handwritten from a piece of printer paper. I don't know if people save my cards, but they're a little bit more difficult. That's why I need to start laminating my cards before I give them to people. I do think that when people It's just like a really good way to express yourself, and it's a really good way to save how someone feels about you. Um, do I have cards from my ex-boyfriend? For sure. Like, that shit was thoughtful. It's, like, in the crux of my bottom drawer, but, like, it's there, it's nice. They took their time to do that. Um, anyways, I love a card. I love a thoughtful gift. I just picked up 2 cards actually from Paper Source. You know, I will spend $12 on a card because if I'm going to a wedding, I'm not giving them a handwritten card made out of printer paper. Like, that's not respectful, and I understand that, but then it's like, "Hey, Paper Source, why don't you make acrostic poems?" Oh, wait, because I need to do that. That's what I wanna do for people in my next life. I wanna create acrostic poem cards, but I couldn't because they need to be so custom for the person. Like, if your name has an R in it, I can promise you the R is gonna be like, "Remember that time that you and I did XYZ?" And you get a chuckle, but anyways, I'm back. I was down the shore for a little bit. I got tan, but, like, I wore sunscreen, and I think that's something that people don't understand is, like, you can get tan and wear sunscreen. I made a video. Did that just blow your mind? People who are like, "You must not wear sunscreen." Oh, you're green with envy, you know, chill out. I made a video of, like, I was just recording myself and my chest was in it. My chest was looking a little fried, but it wasn't. I was just wearing sunscreen and I was glistening. And 2 people commented and was like, "Kids, this is why you wear your sunscreen." And I was like, "I'd rather you call me ugly." I don't know why that's the most hurtful thing anyone's ever commented on my photos. And, like, people have called me ugly before. I don't care. But, like, accusing me of not teaching the youth to wear sunscreen, that's where I draw the line. I'm there with my SPF 50, and you know what? I'll give a shout out. I discovered a new sunscreen brand. I asked them, "Please, can you sponsor me? I am actually obsessed with you," and they just liked the message. If you express your love for someone over social and they heart the message, they do not like you back. And they're not confused, they're not busy, they're all set. I've reached out to this company called Coconut Caliente. Have you ever heard of a better name for a sunscreen? Because when you hear Coconut Caliente, are you not a little bit like, is that a margarita? Imagine sitting down at a restaurant, looking at the menu. There's the spicy strawberry, there's the prickly pear, and there's the coconut caliente. I'll have the coconut caliente. I don't even drink, and I will get the coconut caliente. That shit is gonna be so good. It's gonna be the perfect amount of rum. There's gonna be coconut shavings around the rim. It's gonna be a little spicy, but not so much that your lips hurt. It's going to be perfect. But it's not a margarita. It's a sunscreen. The sunscreen bottle is sexy. It's like brown. It's giving Cowprint. And it's like a little coconut guy looking like a little shooby. I'm obsessed. I got 13 bottles of it. I said, "I'll take 14 of them." I was obsessed with it. Here's the thing, if I'm ever gonna be sponsored, I'm gonna believe in the brand. And I believed in this brand, and they just didn't. They just did not believe back. But that's okay. That's why everyone has these stories of, like, I got rejected the first 30 times, and then it worked. They're just helping me build my villain arc, and for that Coconut Caliente, hats off to you. So I use Coconut Caliente a ton, and it also smells like coconuts. Could you think of anything better than a sunscreen named Coconut Caliente, and then it smells like coconuts? Cocaine? I don't know. It is so delicious. So I did wear sunscreen, but I also did get tan. But also it gets to the point where you're too tan and then people are thinking, "Did you go to the beds?" And you wanna really toe that line of, "No, I didn't, but if I did, it's none of your business." I've never gone to the tanning beds. Cross my heart. I'll get a spray tan where I look orange, yes, but will I ever get a tan in a tanning bed? No. Have I had the opportunity? Yeah. Yeah, I've been offered it. Yeah, I've had a free trial. No, I've never done it. There's a couple things I wanted to cover today because, of course, the first 20 minutes is nothing to do with something that I wanted to cover. I wanted to a few things, actually. One of my friends texted me that she ran into her mom's friend, and her mom's friend was like, "I have a guy that I wanna set you up with. It's my friend's son. And I want to take a pause there to point out that I see nothing wrong with that. This woman is going out of her way to try to get her friend's son in a potential relationship. But I think that sometimes these middle-aged women take it too far. And in the Jewish culture, there's something called a Yenta, or rather, there's someone called a Yenta. A Yenta is basically the town gossip, and a Yenta's sole purpose is to Yenta. A Yenta is a noun, a Yenta is an adjective, a Yenta is a verb. And I don't think that I'm a Yenta. My mom is not a Yenta. I could name about 30 Yentas right now. And the crux of a Yenta is trying to set their sons up with somebody. Because a Yenta sees nothing worse. Nothing is worse to a Yenta than a single person. Like, they're sick at the thought of that. They're sick at the thought of someone who's above the age of 25 without a man, without a woman, without a partner. They're like, "I don't get how you breathe on your own." That's a Yenta. A Yenta also will know who you're dating and then tell everybody else. A Yenta is in the know, but no one actually told them. They have a way of finding out. You need to be careful around Yentas. You need to clock who they are and you need to reserve yourself. I am a Yenta's wet dream because I cannot keep my mouth shut. They ask me how I am, I'll tell them everything. Little do I know they're taking notes in their mind. Then they're texting their friends on their Apple phones in font 36 sized. They are getting down to the nitty gritty. They're the Nancy Drews of our generation. I'm sorry, of the generation above me. So my friend was telling me that her mom's friend is trying to set her up with her friend's son. Nothing is like, for me, a bigger turnoff than like somebody's mom vouching for them. And I'll back that up because I think that there is something sweet about somebody's somebody's mom's friend being like, "I know such a great guy. I can't understand why he's single, but I know a really great guy. And he's cute. He's always cute. Even if he's butt fuck ugly to a Yenta, he's so cute. He's got a great job." Of course he has a great job. They wouldn't be harping them out if they didn't. And, great family. Great family, of course, Miss Yenta, because you're friends with the family. She's never gonna vouch for someone who she's not actually rooting for, but you're always like, "Are you just trying to set me up so that you can say that you set me up?" And I don't trust that. I was out to dinner a couple weeks ago, and I was approached by a Yenta, and my mom was talking to her, and all of a sudden she's like, "Are you single?" to me. And me personally, as someone who's not in a relationship, when I'm catching up with somebody, who I'm dating or if I'm dating is so far out of the realm of where I'm focusing on that when other people ask me that first thing out the gate, I am always caught off guard. I think that we have to recognize that people have different priorities. My priorities right now are not dating. And I think other people's priorities, or rather also purposes, are to date, to find a boyfriend, to find a husband, to do all of this by a certain timeline so that they're not behind a fixated thing that was created by society and they can't be the last one, XYZ. I don't really go by that. I kind of have paved my own path my entire life. But for some reason, like when people will ask me if I'm dating, like I almost get defensive because I know that because some people put more value on that, they might see me not dating as sad. And then you have to almost convince them that you're fine. and you are fine. But for example, this woman came up to me and was like, "Are you single? Blah, blah, blah." And then she got so excited that I was single. And then she's like, "My son and you would go so well together." She has met me for 25 seconds, which means that basically anyone she meets, she thinks would go really well with her son. And now I'm flattered, not because she thinks I would be good with the son, but because she could see me as a future daughter in law. Because a Yenta would never try to do that and try to like make her family worse. I think that she saw potential in me, and for that, I'm very grateful. So she's telling me, you guys would go so well together. And anyone that's ever been set up, enough of the chitty chitty chat. Show me the photo. Like when my friend is like, oh yeah, I've been talking to someone, I'm like, stop right there. Show me the photo. It's not because I'm superficial and I'm looking to judge them based on the looks of this potential suitor. I need a face in my head before I can fall in love with this amazing personality. Like, I need to be able to picture this man, woman, anyone before I can, like, be on board with it. Because if you're hyping someone up, it doesn't matter what I think about their looks. I just need to be able to picture it. We also follow suit a lot of when someone asks for a photo of the person you're talking to and then we all know the next line, it's, "Oh my god, he really doesn't take good photos." If someone's cute, like, there's gonna be a good photo online of them. Okay? Are there no cute photos or are they just not cute? Are there no cute photos or is every photo just from 2012? Like, I think there's a difference between someone being ugly and someone not photographing well. Like, I've seen pretty good-looking people that just really can't take a photo. They can't lock in when it comes to taking a photo. But I've never seen an ugly person be able to take a really good photo. Like, they're kind of in just in their own little world. But usually, if you're trying to find out if someone's cute or try to find a cute photo of somebody, go to their tag photos. Because if they're not posting on social media themselves, they have some bitch in their life who is. And I don't mean some bitch like she's a bad bitch. She probably is a bad bitch. But always go to the tag photos, people. But I love when someone's like, "Oh, can I see a photo of them?" And it's like, "No, like, I you wouldn't get it." "No, I would get it." "Do you get it?" All of a sudden, their wheels start turning, they're like, "I think they are ugly." But so, I say to this woman who's approaching me, who's trying to set me up with her son, who I don't know, and she's stunning, might I just say. Like, good sign. She shows me her son, and I'm just not for me. We say in sorority life when we don't really see a girl, we don't really vibe with a girl if we were like during recruitment, which sounds like so army like. Recruitment week. We're literally recruiting members for our tribe, for our sorority. When I saw the photo of him, I just, I'm all set. And what we say in sorority life is, I think they shine better elsewhere. And that's a really nice thing to say because it is true. Everyone shines in different places, but some people just don't shine in certain areas. Like, I didn't shine in like 7 of the 10 sororities. I was like, I know that I'm not going to be appreciated and I'm not going to feel like my most Dana here. And I just wasn't super into him. But then it's awkward because that's her son. And then all of a sudden it's like, fine, I didn't tell you this before, but I am dating somebody. You'll just start making shit up. I'm like, listen, I would hate to hurt your feelings of like when the egg and the sperm met, it didn't click, but not for me. I was like, honestly, some of my friends would actually die for this man. I'm all set. But then it's like, oh, well, you're not dating. Don't you want to be dating? Don't say no to everyone. And I'm here to tell you You not saying yes to everyone is not you being picky. It's you having standards. Just because someone's interested in you, just because you have this opportunity, if you don't feel like it, that's so valid. Just because you're swiping on the apps and somebody asks you out and you don't wanna go, like, that is so valid, and you don't need to justify why you don't wanna go out with somebody. I feel like free people with dating, it's like, "Are you dating? Are you dating?" And I'm like, no, not really." And then they're like, "Well, are you on the apps?" And it's like, I don't I don't really want to be. I don't really want to meet my person on an app. My way of going through life is like, whatever happens, happens. I'm very into organic friendship, connection. That sort of energy is not welcomed by me from an app. Like, I've done the apps before. They don't make me feel good about myself. I feel like everybody says this. This is not an original thought, but Hinge will fully be like, based on who likes you, it appears that you resemble a dumpster truck. And it's like, I don't really need to be told that. And then my standouts, aka people that they think are hotter than me, usually are hotter than me, but that doesn't mean that they're better than me. It doesn't mean that I'm not compatible with them. Sometimes I just get icked out by it. And like, I think if you are single, and like, it's also okay to be like, I'm trying to date. It's just like not really working out right now. That's okay. Again, we put value on what we want to put value on. I'm not putting value on myself when it comes to dating. Like, I'm doing a lot of other shit that I'm really proud of, and I'll date when the time is right. So if you're listening to this and you feel pressure of people asking you about if you're dating, why you're not dating, why you're not going on enough dates, like, stop. Stop. I feel like you're projecting onto me your values and what you find is important. And it's okay to say, I'm just not prioritizing that right now. Okay? And even if you are prioritizing right now dating, but you're not thrilled with the state of it, it's okay to say you're not prioritizing it right now. You know why? Because it's not that deep. And you know what else? It's your fucking life. And for you to feel affected by what other people believe to be true, do not let it. Do not let it. Life is a lot lighter when you can just feel strongly in your own values and not feel tempted by other people. Is it tough when a Yenta approaches you for a setup and you have to deny it? Yes. Will you make it out alive? Yes. I am living proof of it. Something that actually made me think of what I wanted to bring up next, which is so funny, is hold for applause. I mean, hold for suspense. You can applaud too. So when I was in college, I went to Virginia Tech. And Greek life is something that was important. It felt important. It felt like that's what you do. Same It's the same thing with how, like, what I thought you were supposed to do after high school was go to a four-year college. There was no other thinking. I'm sure it would have been welcomed if I had thought of it. If I said to my mom, "I wanna take a gap year, I wanna travel. I wanna take a gap year, I wanna intern. I wanna take a gap year, I want to take more classes to figure out what I wanna study." It would have been welcomed, but going to a four-year college, which is a privilege, a mega privilege, but going to a four-year college was always just something that I was like, "Well, of course I'm gonna do that. That's what everybody from my town does. Of course I'm gonna do that." And so, same thing with joining a sorority. College always felt like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, the crux of college was Greek life. That was what was in the movies. That was what was in the I'm Schmacked videos that got me so amped up for college. Like, Greek life felt important, and I don't know if I think that I came from a big friend group. I came from kind of craving that social community aspect. But I think that Greek life takes it to a whole nother level that, um, it's not that I have regrets about being in Greek life, but recently, actually, I've been thinking a lot about what my college experience would have been like if I was not in Greek life. I put so much value and so much emphasis on Greek life. If you meet a guy, oh, what frat is he in? If he's in like a not good one, which what does that even mean? If he was in like a not good one, it was like, ugh, well, I don't really want to. He's a person. I remember I took a guy to a date party. Well, let me back up a second, but let me tell this story quick. I took a guy to a date party, and then he drunkenly told me that his friend said he couldn't believe that he was going with um a girl from a store brand sorority. Store brand sorority. Like, are you okay? The answer is no. A plot twist. So, when we were rushing, we rushed our second semester of freshman year. And, you kinda, like, make your friends from your hall, and it is a very good way to make friends. I don't really know how easy it would have been to make friends at Virginia Tech if I wasn't in Greek life, but guess what? People do it. It's possible. And I remember I rushed. Like, I look back on my outfits and I'm honestly sick about it. I had no sense of style. I still don't really have a sense of style. No one is looking at me and is like, "That girl's got style." No. They're like, "She's funny, doesn't know how to dress." For sure, I don't know how to dress. I would love a personal stylist. I I'm down to, like, be crazy with my outfits, but by no means would someone see an outfit unless it had cow print on it, and they'd be like, "That's so Dana." I kinda have, like, the cow print in my corner. So, when it came to Rush, I just remember I didn't know how to do my hair, I didn't know how to dress, I didn't know what was cute, it was the era of, like, infinity scarves, statement necklaces, um, like, preppy, but, like, forcing yourself to be preppy, and I think every outfit I wore for every day would have been featured on, like, what not to wear, but I didn't know any better, and it's not like I had a lot of choices either, and, like, I remember going to every house, I think there were 12 at Virginia Tech, and I just felt, like, weird. It felt like you had to perform, and it's not even like you felt like you had to perform, you had to perform. You were trying to, like, dance for your life and socialize for your life so that these girls would accept you into their cult. It's a really weird concept. And you could look at it as like you're trying to see who you can connect with so that you can find the best community for you. But I do think it ended up being a lot of like, are you pretty? Like, who do you know here? Do you have connections? And I didn't really have any of that. But so I was going to the different houses and there were, I think, like 5 or 6 top tier houses. And by top tier, what I mean by that is just like notoriously like really beautiful girls were in these houses. And I think going into them, I remember feeling already inadequate. I didn't feel good. I didn't really feel like myself. Like I'm not drawn to someone for friendship or connection based on like that superficial attribute. And like, yeah, if I'm gonna date someone, I want them to be good looking. Are you crazy? Like, I need to be attracted to them. But like for these platonic connections that we're supposed to make, the first thing that they're looking at when you walk in is you. And you kind of have to like strut your stuff and make an impact within 7 minutes because that's all you really have. So if they're judging you afterwards and ranking you, yes, we got ranked. If they're not seeing that you fit in with them Like, it's gonna be a no. And so I remember going to these houses and just, like, not even not even, like, wanting to be there. I already was like, "We're not gonna vibe." And I knew that I wanted to, like, be able to be myself and be funny and not care about that, but, like, I just felt like I was getting looked up and down, and I was looking around, and I was like, "Oh my god, what are they talking about?" And how sorority recruitment works is you have a bump group, so bump, B-U-M-P. So, everything looks really not staged, but it's really staged and it's really thought out and it's really strategic. So like while I walk into the house, I get picked up by one girl and then we talk for 3 minutes and then we get bumped. So the next girl from the house comes in and is like, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?" My social skills did not really fully develop until I was like 26. I don't know how we were having conversations, what we were talking about. It really was so surface level of where are you from? What's your major? What dorm are you in? Do you like it here? What do you like to do in the summer? Very surface level. Because you have 7 minutes. You get bumped, you get bumped, you get bumped. You're talking to three different girls. And then after those three girls circle up and then are like, do we like her? And it's like, she might shine better elsewhere. So after the first day where you go to all 12 houses, the second day you come back and you only get invited back, if you get invited back, to 9. So you kind of rank them and they rank you. It's a ranking system. So then you kind of see which houses dropped you, which houses you dropped. And it's like a vicious game that sounds almost Hunger Games esque as I'm talking about it. So then day after day, I think there was like 6 days 'cause they had to, like, split up the 3rd day into 2 days because they were more about, like, getting to know the girls in the chapter. Like, they weren't as surface level. And I remember there was only one house that I actually liked due to what I had known about them. I kinda heard that they were the silly house, they were the fun girls, and I just the girls that I was talking to in the house, like, the first 2 days I really liked. And then the 3rd or no, maybe the 1st day, and then the 2nd day, I got these 2 girls that I was talking to, and I was like, "What the helliana is going on with your vibe?" Like, I did not like them, we were not connecting, and I was pissed because I was like, "Now you guys aren't gonna like me, and I'm not gonna like you, and now you're not gonna rank me, but I wanna be in this house." And I remember leaving that house that I liked and being like, "Oh, that did not go well." But it's the only house that I wanna be in, so it had to have gone well. And essentially the 3rd day, I came back in, and every house had dropped me besides 2. And the 2 houses that didn't drop me were ones that I did not want to be in. Now, I did not want to be in them for a couple of reasons. The main being, like, it was a feeling I had when I was in the house that I just didn't really vibe with the girls. We weren't really on the same speed level, and I just really didn't see them, like, being funny and getting me, and they were, like, a little weirder. Like, I'm weird, but I just didn't really feel like our weirds were meshing. So I ended up dropping out of recruitment, and I had known that I wanted this house, the one that I had just talked about, and I only wanted that house. So the fact that I didn't get into the house, I was like, "Then I'm out. Then I'm out." Because if I can't have that, then I don't want this. I ended up realizing, like, I don't just wanna be in Greek life to be in Greek life. Like, I want to be in a group of girls that I feel myself in. I had known older girls in the sorority that were just, like, so hysterical and so cool and so real and down to earth, and they were in that sorority, and I was like, "I wanna be where they are." I'm not picking up the vibes from anywhere else. I got an unlucky bump group that 2nd day, and I was pissed. So I dropped out. Dropping out was really difficult because everyone I had met 1st semester was rushing. No one else had gotten dropped by their favorite houses. And then on preference day, which is when you find out what sorority you're in, everyone got in. I got super high that night, I remember. I, like, couldn't feel my legs. Um, I got so high in college, like, I would literally just be like, "Has anyone seen my legs?" Like, that was a fun time. Bong rip, legs missing. That was the routine. And then 2 weeks later, this sorority reached out, and they were like, "Dana, we're holding informal recruitment, and, we would love to invite you back." And I remember I called my mom, and I was like, "I really wanna do this." And she had kinda said, "Are you sure? Because they did not want you. Are you sure that you now want to give it another go? Give them another chance to potentially be hurt?" And I was like, "I owe it to myself to meet more of these girls to actually see if it's a vibe or if I just thought it was a vibe based on what I knew." Because I was convinced, and I did ended up finding out that I was not supposed to be paired with those girls who rushed me. Like, the bump groups got messed up. They were like, "We don't know how you ended up with them. They are not your vibe. You are not their vibe. Have that." So I do informal recruitment. I end up getting in, and I was so happy. And to this day, I am so happy that I did that because my sorority was so funny. We were actually the personality hires. There really wasn't a lot of people in the sorority that I did not like. And it was interesting, like, once I got to be able to be the person recruiting, I was like, "We have to give this girl another chance." Like, she's having an off day. I think that sorority recruitment can be really surface level and really superficial, and it's dangerous. There's one night where we're literally, like, have all these girls on a sideshow, and we're like, "No, yes, no." And it was interesting because when I was on the other side of it, recruiting, it made me so sad because I was like, I was one of those girls up there that you guys said no to. And finding, like, calmness within me to just be like, it all worked out the way it did. But it was interesting too because, like, I gave a speech my senior year at recruitment. That group of girls meant so much to me. They mean so much to me. And it didn't matter that we weren't top tier. Didn't matter where we lied in this, like, made up bullshit. Because there's a lot of girls that were in top tier sororities that I would never be friends with. And there's a lot of girls in lower tier sororities that I would wanna be friends with. It doesn't mean anything. Like, finding the people that make you feel the best you is so important, and I think we get lost in the sauce of rankings, and I don't know. Why do we care so much? What does it mean? What does it mean that someone if I see someone in Greek letters now, I'm like, "Grow up." Like, it's so embarrassing. Is that your identity? Like, if you're remembered for the sorority or fraternity that you're in, I kinda feel bad for you. Like, make something out of it. Um, I'm not, like, shitting on it either. Like, it is important. It's a community, but I think that this pressure that we put on it is, like, disgusting. I I tell that story because I was just thinking about how, when Dancing with the Stars, you got your partner? Like, I feel so bad for the dancers, the pros that have to get, like, the bad celebrities. Like, I feel so bad for Gleb this season because he has Hilaria Baldwin. Like, that woman is so disliked because she's so obnoxious, and now he has to dance with her? Like, "Babe, you're gonna get voted off." That sucks. And that reminded me of, like oh, sorry, who's the guy with, Val and Alex Earl. Like, Val, you're going to the mirror ball, honey. Like, that's so exciting for him, but it just reminded me of how, like it reminded me of not getting into a sorority where you find out and then you're looking at everybody else and you're like, "Oh, I'm so jealous of them." And you have to be happy for everyone else, but you're also pissed about the situation that you're in. That's how I imagine Gleb feels. And then Val is like, I don't know, Dancing with the Stars, sorority recruitment, tomato, tomato. I I bring up that story because I look back on like being said no to and then having the opportunity to give it another shot. And I'll always give it another shot if I think that there's something to come out of it. Um, yeah, I'm I'm really grateful to all of you who listened. I'm I'm not about the numbers, but I can't help but recognize that Not That Deep is popping off. I'm amazed that so many of you are engaged. I'm amazed that so many of you are listening, want to listen, are sharing episodes, are sharing my social videos. It means the world to me. Like I'm having so much fun and I now need to write my cards for my weddings that I need to go to. But for everyone listening, follow Not That Deep podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and follow along on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. And most importantly, think of your days and think of what's not that deep. What's your not that deep of the day? My not that deep of the day today, modifying your workouts is not that deep. I think that when we're in group fitness classes, people like feel so much pressure to like grab the heaviest weight or do the most amount of work or sweat the least. Like, I don't get it, but it's not that deep to be like, I'm not feeling this 40-pound squat today. Let me either drop the weight or let me go less. Like, nobody cares. And if also somebody is watching you and is like, that's weird that they're modifying, that's so insane that they're so obsessed with you. That's my not that deep of the day. I'm definitely going to post about that today. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really love you all and have an amazing day.